Just take a look at our budget decks. So this is a budget pledge deck. It builds into like a deck that I played at the showdown that just has the aggro pledge, but this one's a little more of a conservative route on it. You've got Aurelian Merchant instead of the charge merchant, just because you're not as aggressive. You can't take advantage of the charge. You get the Tokus, which you get from the theme deck. You have to use some less than ideal pledge units like Infused Guardian and Apex Predator, but you still have Gunrunner and Moonstone Vanguard, which you're pretty happy about. Apex Predator is the big winner here. And then we put in some Flame Blasts because that goes well with the amount of power this generates. We're trying to get up to Apex Predator, and that won us most of the games that we played with this deck. And then you also have Flame Blast. Xenobelisk is pretty good too. So that's this deck. That's 27 power. Might be a bit high on power considering how many accelerants we have. We've got power in the market. Maybe I'll consider changing some of these powers to, like, I mean, even like time monuments might be good. Yeah, maybe I'll think about that. Then we also have this budget rats deck. This is basically Manu's rats deck. It just, instead of having Teacher of Humility, is playing Lethrai Courtier, which is not as good because Teacher of Humility gives you that relic right away. All you have to do is hit them. But yeah, I mean, the idea is to assemble Rat Cage plus a lot of other relics here, and then that will generate a large board. Then use Xenobulus/Clock in order to buff those units and just attack until they're dead. Okay, so here's the budget Katra combo. This is straight up Tangelos' list, except it doesn't have it doesn't have Desecrates, and it doesn't have Equivocate. No. The other list didn't have Equivocates. This one doesn't have Desecrates because it's from the wrong campaign. This one you need, what's it called? Into Shadow. And then that gets you the Vara Azendel and Last Chance. Of course, the deal with even-handed Golem Katra decks is you play a bunch of even-handed Golems, you draw a bunch of cards, and then you assemble Katra plus Stained Honor plus Razor Quill, and then you can just twist Razor Quill infinite times and kill them. Then we have the Budget Huru Control deck. This is another market list deck, but you get to use the Svetya Sanctum and Kroviat Palace in order to win after controlling the board for a long time. You get a premium removal spell, an Ice Bolt, and then swapping out the Pristine Lights for Vanquishes and the Hailstorms for Lightning Storms, and then just a bunch of removal and ways to draw cards. This deck turns the corner very quickly. If you can go, if on an empty board you can go Sanctum into Palace, generally you're going to win in short order. So yeah, this is pretty similar to the Hero control decks that we've been seeing a lot lately, but perhaps a lot worse in the late game. And then, of course, we have our final budget mono fire deck. This is very close to DDDD's build from this past weekend. Just a lot of aggressive fire units. And then, instead of Godans, we're playing Eclipse Dragon, which I suspect might be a little better anyway, just because it's evasive. And, I mean, it's easier to play, but, like, the other deck was playing mono fire sigils. Anyway, if you play Eclipse Dragon, you get to run Seal of Devotion, which was always, like, pretty good in this deck. So that was pretty sweet. And then, of course, here you have, like, Flame Blast and Obliterate to burn people out. So, those are the 5 budget decks from this series. If I come up with any more, I'll be sure to post them on Eternal Warcry. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up a second article on it, but hopefully these 5 decks will be featured in an article soon. You can be able to check it out on EternalTitans.com. And